Okay. Yeah. So, it's like I'm gamer girl, I'm on telly. Like I'm a gamer girl, put me on screen. Right, we are live, so I appreciate whoever's tuning in. Right, we're going to start off with some Donkey Kong, and I've already well aware that using this thing is hard work at the best of times, and Donkey Kong is one hell of a tough game to be trying to play with this. So this is going to be hilarious. So let's give it a spin. Got to figure out what button I need to do. Press start though. Hang on. Is anyone out there actually good at Donkey Kong? Because I'm awful. Oh, God. Oh, come on. That's a good start. Broke my joystick already. Let's get this on properly. Might end up just using the things as they are. Oh, come on. Right, definitely going to avoid using joystick until I can get it on properly. Let's get that hammer. Oh, come on. I forgot you can't actually go down a level without dying. That's game over already. We got up to, what, the second, the third? Awful. Let's try again. Ooh. Didn't commit to climbing, did I? Oh, I could have hurried along there. Right, can I get that hammer in time? I can't climb with the hammer, can I? I'm surprised I managed to do that because, yeah, I suck at Donkey Kong. I know it's only one screen, but... Oh, come on, I was pressing right there. Right, last life, I think. Oh, committed. Game over again. Right, let's give this one more spin. Thanks for tuning in, whoever has. I always get most of my views after this has been live, but, you know, it's cool when you tune in live. Ah, he knew. So I'm not going for scores here, I'm just trying to get through a level. was never going to get over both of them. No, not fast enough. Right, let's give it one more spin. I've spent too long in my adult times gaming and not having enough patience, so. Then after this, we'll attempt to get the joystick back on properly to try another game out. There's often a lot of people talk about the NES port of Donkey Kong, saying it's not great compared to the arcade. I mean, I assume it's all to do with the mechanics or something, or the movement of the barrels or something that isn't the same as the arcade, because visually, you know, I struggle to find the difference. Might be a slightly lower resolution. And obviously it's not a, well, it's poor, not an upright screen, so, but it's a version I've already been that I'm quite aware of compared to the arcade version, just because a friend of mine had it on the Donkey Kong Classics on the NES. And next the version, along with the Atari 2600 version, which is obviously much more butchered port than this. But before playing it, I think, to be honest, I would have been an adult by the time I played the actual arcade cap of this. Oh, come on, DK, that's just cheap. That's cheap. I mean, I know there's proper ways of playing this rather than just going through the levels. Like, I could just sit on this level jumping over things, really, couldn't I? But I don't think that's how you work in high scores. Right, is he going to go? Up, 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 up. I'll take that. I think we're down to the last life again on this level, but I don't know what the best technique is. See it? Is that too far a jump? Oh, come on! I should know that, but that's not a good way to die, is it? That ain't a good way. Bit of product placement in my video there. Not sponsored by Coca-Cola at all, but I'm just thirsty, and it was in the fridge. So, right, let's go back to game select. So, what do I need to press? Suspend menu. So I don't think I can press these other Z buttons. So it says press ZL. No, that's start. Damn it, Kevin. So that's pause. SL, SR, ZL. So I assume there's no way for me to actually get back to the original screen. So that ain't good. If I do it that way, that'll work though. Close and then start up again. It's cheating a bit, isn't it? But it works. Right, what are we going with next? I was considering doing a bit of Gradius, but I'm awful at that as well, to be honest. I mean, some of these NES games back then were brutal, weren't they? Let's be honest. There is one game I want to get hold of, and that's the Versus Super Mario Brothers game, which was like the arcade version of Super Mario Brothers. A little bit harder, some elements from the lost levels in the original game, and a few things rearranged. It's just nice to have in the collection. Obviously, you can't ever buy a physical version unless you're literally buying an arcade board. So it's on the list. It's just, you know, I'd like for it to go on a sale, but the Nintendo Arcade Archives games never tend to, because one, they're Nintendo games and they get away with keeping the price up. So what we got? We did Donkey Kong. Ghosts and Goblins would be an awful decision with this joystick. So we'll go with Gradius. I'm not going to go with either of the special ones. I just need to know where my... There is the original. So we try and get this joystick back on. I don't know how long it's going to last, to be fair. It's one of the things where if it isn't on quite right, then it's going to fall off. But as long as I'm not too flimsy with it, it's fine. To be honest, it feels better playing with just the analog stick. These are obviously just for show, aren't they? So, well, this whole thing's just for show. It's not ideal to play with. Just pleasant little setup. Sorry about the reflection that keeps coming off with this. Right, let's try. Right, now I've got my regular weapon and then my drop bomb at the start, so make sure I don't press the wrong buttons. Gradius it is. I can imagine this joystick coming off, but I get some power-ups. That's the thing about this game, if you die, it's like quite brutal to... Oh god. Some twitchy controls. Ooh. I've got a thing about liking shoot 'em ups and the idea of shoot 'em ups, but you know, I've never just don't have the patience for them the same way anymore. Especially ones like this where it's like if I die I lose all my power ups and everything. I think if I press like select I can... There we go. As soon as I bloody used it, dead. Right, last life. And lost my power up, see? So now I've got to triple up just to get it. I might use my speed up, there we go. Give myself a little bit of... I do like how it's clever, you know, you get your power ups and you can be selective about waiting for the later thing to use, or if I want to speed up my machine a bit first. I think initially you want that little bit of speed, so I won't use it again. I'll move up to the next one. Missiles are fine, but the double shots are useful. Oh, come on! Awful. I do commend the NES being able to get a few sprites on the screen here with not too much flicker. I seem to be getting worse. Let me give this one a spin again. Let's give it another spin. The joystick seems to be holding fire a little bit better here. I think it's that way of playing platformers, you kind of force the joystick a bit more because you think you're going to jump further or go faster. It's a natural thing, whereas this is constant wiggling. It works. Obviously it doesn't have the 8-direction feel, there's no clicking, it's just... Oh god. Let's use that speed. Ooh. Oh, come on. I mean, I could play a bit of Streets of Rage 4 with this, but I don't see that ending too well with this joystick. I'm not great at the game as it is. Right, bomb. I've got bombs for below. I've used my only bomb, great. getting them angles right, isn't it? Right, let's not get shot by these volcano things now. Ooh. Oh. Whoa, 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 come on, where am I supposed to hide there? Down the bottom? Ah. You know, you have a good run and then it just kind of ends in failure. Disappointment, that is. Right, see what else we've got. There's not as many arcadey titles on the Super Nintendo one, so we'll try this again. Who's online? Let's see who's online quickly. Not that I'm going to play anybody yet. We've got Kraz, Alan, Joey, Bryony. A lot of well, Xenoblade Chronicles, obviously a new release. Pokemon Let's Go. And then Animal Crossing. None of which I'm going to play with anyone. Back to the can. Right, what else we got? Let's give old Mario a go. Mario Bros. Which, you know, traditionally played with a joystick, and I grew up with the Atari 2600 version with a joystick, but I can imagine this being quite difficult to play as well. Still an all-time favourite though, this. Yeah, I can imagine the joystick not lasting long with this. Oh, I missed the coin. Yeah, this is going to be... Well, one screen. It's good a start as it could be. Can I beat him? Ooh, gotta watch that slide, didn't we? Get it there quick. Oh shit. Ah! These fires coming in the second bloody level. I don't think I could ever get these coins in the NES version in time. There's always that jump up there. Unable to make that. Oh, that is close though. Still, bit of a score. And the crabs need 2 hits, don't they? God. Oh, he got me there, didn't he? I think I even managed to get my dad to play 2-player 2600 version of this with me once. One of the few video games I've managed to get him to play. Whoa, 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 whoa. You speeding? Oh, I didn't read that too well, did I? Started so well. God, you nutter. Just in time, just in time. No, I thought I got him. Let's try that one again. Oh, Mr. Powell. Oh, God. Let's let him come back up again. Oh, there's no duck on here. What am I trying to duck for? I know that. Idiot, Kev. Let's try again with this. Oh no, screwed the pooch there. Tried so eagerly to make that jump first time, and that backfired. Right, back with the crabs again. When does the fighter flies and the slip ice or whatever his bloody name was? Oh God. Last life, is it? You say you get to jump off at this stage? Bloody hell, they're coming out at a rate, aren't they? Oh, you idiot! I thought I could jump off. What a way to lose your last life. Well, I think I've got one more game in us, and then we'll see. As in a new game to play, that is. Right, any more NES, or are we going to try something a bit more? I don't think any of these other games are really made for this sort of thing. Contra would be brutal. Brutally hard to play with this. The pinball game would be cool, but again, Street Fighter would be very difficult. Plus that's actually a physical game I got, which would mean popping that in. Let's go back. Let's go back to the NES. So I don't think the SNES library has anything that great arcadey to play. Let's have a quick look. Right, where are we at? I mean, there are shooting games on here. Earth Defense Force, Logic Bomb I'm not really familiar with. Puzzle game, Smash Tennis, Pop into Wimby. Super Golden Ghost would be brutal. Yeah, I'm not convinced by the SNES lineup as far as playing with this goes. Let's go back to the NES quickly. Excite Bike might be playable. Let's give Excite Bike a go. See how that goes. Well, it's the Versus Excite Bike. I think they have some better tracks on there, so we can try this one. I think this was a Famicom disc game that they've finally allowed release over here. Original Excite versus Excite. Maybe it's like the... Oh, no, I assume it's just 2-player, which I think... Oh. Loading like it's a Famicom disc. Awesome. Let's make it easy. Music's kind of cool. Where's my turbo button? Oh, so I think I've got my normal speed and then my turbo speed that obviously pumps my temperature up. Oh, come on, I thought I'd landed that well. It's going to be brutal now. It's a good time, considering. But it's on easy, so... Not sure how well you guys can actually see that screen, but I think the games with the sort of darker background suit this pickup a little bit better. Oh god, took him out and myself, that was bad. Get rid of all of them. Oh, come on, he's rolled straight in front of me. Oh god. Get back on. I figured that was a better lap than my trial run, but I think it's hard to tell if when you bump into someone, if you're going to hit them or if they're going to take you out or if you take them out. A lot of fun though, this. I'm enjoying it. Oh, he's turboing that way, isn't he? Oh god, landed right on his head. Surprised he's still standing. Not convinced it was a great finish, but where did we finish? First. Not sure I was first, to be fair, but I'll take it. Good luck in the next race. So we're going this way now, right? Oh, that was a bad landing. Oh god, got to not hit that tip of that. Nice. Oh, joysticks come off. Let's try it again without. Fourth. At least it qualifies me. Let's give this one a go, and then we'll probably call it a day. Just minding my own business in this bottom lane. Ooh. The thing about this is like, it doesn't matter how well you do at the start, you're not going to be overtaking everyone and being able to keep your lead. It's just is what it is. That was poor. Oh god. Didn't speed through that, does he? So I don't want to run people over there. Not a bad time. Oh, come on, I thought I landed that one. Phew, landed over his head. Oh no, that was bad. Ah. That's not bad. I'm not too disheartened by that. Well, 5th. That would have been tough to win. Right, guys, let's call that a day. I know I've not had a lot of people tune in live, but it's been fun. And hopefully some of you will watch this after. Leave a comment. Tell me if this was completely pointless because you couldn't see what was going on the screen because of the reflection and stuff. But nice to get a bit of use out of the older build machine. Why is that making so much noise? But yeah, cheers for watching, guys, and I will catch you again soon. Peace.